Hello and welcome students to another video of English, and today we are going to know about short stories. How to write a short story. Stories are a part and parcel of everyone's life, so let us see what are the things that are embedded in a short story. If I talk about short story, they are basically brief narratives that explore characters, plots and themes, that too in a very concise frame, and they give us insights into the human experiences. Now if I talk how to start a story, you must have thought about it earlier also, that we need an idea and how that idea can be transformed into a short story, that we are going to learn today. So basically, to write a story, there is a process, that is IDEEP. The first step is ideate. Then the second step is draft, third step is enhance, then the fourth step is edit, and the last one we are having is publish. So we will follow this process and see how to frame or draft a short story. The first thing, that if I want to start a story, I have to start it with an idea. There should be something in my mind from where I will start. So basically you start with a spark, the thing that is attracting you, alluring you to think that I want to just focus myself on a particular thing or a question or an idea. So an idea that acts as a base upon which your story will shape up. Then it may not be easy to find the right source of information for a story. So basically for that, if I want to be inspired, then you can have two prompts with you. The first thing is the genre under which you will be writing, and the second thing that you follow is the thinking question. You can think about the 5 questions and they will help you supplement to come about with the idea. So now let us know in detail about them. The first thing is the genre. If I talk about the genre that you want your story to be fit into, make sure that your ideas are well connected and embedded in a particular segment. If I am talking about mystery, if I am talking about romance, fantasy and horror, all the different genres, you can adopt anyone, you can take anyone and just jot down all your ideas for that specific genre. Now, the second thing, the 5 thinking questions. A story tells us more than what has happened. It is not about a particular or a singular item or a event, but it tells us much more than that. That where the story is happening, the place, the setting, then when did it happen, basically the time or the era in which the story is unfolding, then how did it happen, how the story is progressing, how it is evolving, then who all were involved, mainly the characters that were there in your story, then what did the surroundings look like. It is not only the characters, it is not only the time, but where it has been enacted, whether it is related to any forest, whether it is happening in the mountains or in valleys, in rural area or in urban area, that you have to keep in mind. Now moving ahead, let us take an example that we are going to practice. We are having an idea with us, that is a hidden door, and this idea we are developing it into a short story. First of all, the thing that I have told you to keep a note of 2 things. The first one was the genre, that is here we are having horror, and then you have to just unfold your ideas, frame and draft them into sentences. Basically what we are having a prompt in front of us, then we are having the genre and the 5 thinking question if you are going to answer them, you will be having a short story in front of you. Basically, it is about an antique doll who sits behind a hidden door, and the room was located in a mansion, and the house is having 4 members in it. The family does not realize that the doll is watching their every move and mischievously. Moreover, what she is doing, she is hiding their belongings. So basically, this is an example of a short story by following the steps that we have just seen. Now, this is the main idea about the story. The first step that you have to practice when we are writing a story is ideate. A storyline is the overall plot of the story. Once you created a plot for yourself, then you have to include the 6 elements. They basically belong to the beginning, middle and the last part of the story. Here we are having exposition, conflict, then we are having rising action, climax, falling action, and at last we are having an ending which is called resolution and denouement in certain parts. So now it is time to dig deep to make it more interesting. So how you are going to spice up your story? We are having some experiments over here. How you are going to experiment your plot? Basically, plot is a sequence of events that were there in the story. So first thing that you can do is that you can create multiple scenarios, different ways to allow the story to unfold. That how you are starting your story. You can think of different patterns, you can think of different openings. Then the second is flip the plot. You can actually flip your plot also. Here you can rewrite a certain element completely opposite the way that you have originally planned. Suppose today I plan of something else and next day a more creative idea hit my head, then I will try to experiment or go ahead with that idea. Now the third is swap the actions. You can interchange over there, switching 2 different plot elements with each other. This is how you can experiment with your plot. Now if we see that the ending of the story, which is also a very important part, not only the starting or the beginning of the story, but how our story is going to end. That also we have to keep in mind. Generally, you have seen this line that they lived happily thereafter. But not all stories end in the same manner. Some stories you can find multiple endings in them. How I am going to end my story. Whether I want my viewer, reader to go back again, whether I am forming a loop in my story. So this is how you can do, and let us see what are the different ways of ending a story. Now 5 ways to end a story are, the first one is character change. You can show a change in a character by pointing out the difference in the end. The first, in the starting, you can have a different character who could be very heartless, and at the end, that person could be kind. Then the second, a slice of hope. Here you can end the story with a bit of hope so that the reader feels like something good may happen. Means the readers must have a slice of hope that everything is going to end well at the end. The third is a warning. You can end the story with a warning. This is mostly done for cautionary tales, require a moral ending. Then the fourth is back to the start. You can take the reader back to the beginning of the story. Means the loop story that I have just explained in the earlier slide, and at last with a twist. You can shock the reader by ending the story in a way that they least expected. We have seen how to convert an idea into a story. We have seen the experimentation with the plot and how to arrive at different endings. Now, when we talk about the process, the IDEEP process, we have just completed the ideate part. The other steps are still to be explained, which we will do in next video. So for now, there is a task for you. You just have to read the prompt that were given and create original main ideas for various stories. The first one is a funny memory. For that, you have to find out the genre under which you are going to write your story and then come with the main idea. The second prompt is an alien. Then you have to mention the genre and then write down the short story. I hope the concept that we have completed are clear to you. Now enjoy writing and practice it on daily basis. Thank you and happy learning.